Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over an update for the used car market. Before we get in this video though, as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So the big news for today's video is that we are seeing some stability within the used car market. And what I mean by stability is over the course of the last month, according to Cox Automotive, we've seen about a 1% increase in wholesale values with used cars, which is tiny compared to what we have seen over the course of the last couple of years, where we'll see, 5 to 10% increases or decreases sometimes in a given month. So seeing a 1% increase, that shows a certain level of stability. And this increase just happened after we just saw, some declines in used car wholesale values over the course of, a pretty large portion of this year. And so with the used car market stabilizing, you're probably wondering, well, why is this happening and what does this mean if I'm planning on buying a used car or if I'm planning on trading in my car? Like, what does this mean for my car's value? And, well, it's kind of all over the place. So first off, in terms of why this is currently happening, I think that the strikes that are currently happening have to do with some of the value increase that we're currently seeing, especially with the manufacturers that are affected by the strikes, because obviously what this means is that there are fewer new cars available, especially with General Motors. General Motors was already somewhat constrained, and now they're even more constrained. And so this puts more pressure on the used car market because people can't get the cars new, so then they try to find something used. More people in the used car market increases demand, decreases supply, right? Natural market dynamics. So it makes sense as to why the price is slightly increasing, and only 1%. It's not a massive amount. So I think that's playing a big part. And then again, the overall used car market being a market where there's not a lot of supply and demand is pretty consistent, it makes sense as to why prices are going to stabilize overall. Now, in terms of what this means for you, those of you that are potentially looking at buying a used car, the advice that I had given over the course of the entirety of this year and last year still stands. I would just be patient with the process, right? I would look at as many options as you can on the used car market, because what you have to understand is that no two used cars are alike. And so the more options that you look at, the more you kind of understand, actual conditions of these cars, and you can compare conditions of different cars against each other. But I think this is also going to kind of, help out with determining whether or not you really do need a car right now, right? Because if you actually look at the options, you might see that they're not all that great, and it might be better to just wait until something better comes along. But something else that I've stated that I'm going to state again is, this is still a market where if a car is in really good condition, like, for example, it's just, or it's exceptional in some way, where it has super low miles, or it has certain features that are hard to get, then understand that you might have to pay a little bit of a price premium on the used car market to get that car, because, again, supply and demand is not in your favor when it comes to buying a car. Now, when it comes to, trading in your car, I think, again, right now could potentially be a good time. I'm not saying it's the best time ever to trade in a car, but with the stabilizing of wholesale values, this means that dealers are going to be a little bit more comfortable to potentially pay up a little bit more on cars. And I'm already seeing this with of the different online car buying sources, where they're paying more today than what they were doing a month or 2 months ago. And so this could be a good time to trade in your car and get a little bit more money for it, because again, the car dealers are seeing the same numbers that we're seeing, where they're seeing a little bit of stability. And so like, okay, you know what, with the stability, with the increase in wholesale prices, I can probably pay a little bit extra for this car and I won't be in a bad situation. So yeah, it could be a little bit of a better time to trade in, just because there's going to be a little bit more positivity, I will say, with dealerships. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this development within the used car market. Do you think that this is going to continue moving forward, where we're going to see this stability and you might see a few price increases? Or do you think that once the strikes finish, that we're going to basically see the floor fall out? And what I will say is, obviously the cars that are affected by these strikes, those are naturally going to have temporary increases, and then once supply is being fulfilled again, once the strikes are done, then those increases will naturally come down. And again, GM vehicles are affected the most. So like, just go and look at the pricing history of Silverados, for example, used Silverados. And what you'll see is right now we're seeing a pretty big increase with some of the prices, but it's just because availability is not good for what people are looking for. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you.